In the long pause between the last mouthfuls of my grandmother's cooking and our chair legs scraping her uncarpeted floor as we leave the dinner table, my grandpa would lean in during the lull in the conversation and interject with a story from his colourful past. They would always begin inaudibly, with a twinkle in his eye and a glint of light on his veneers as he cheekily grins, already amusing himself thinking of the punchline. How did a Lebanese man end up in London in the 1950s, you may be asking yourself, he asked me. Well, I'll tell you, he told me. Back in those days, when Beirut was still referred to as the Paris of the Middle East, I came down from my hometown among the mountain resorts to work as a journalist for the Near East broadcasting station. After the Suez Crisis, it was dangerous to work for a British-run radio station. One day I scooped up all of my writing and gear from my desk into my arms and got in a lift, determined to leave. A chap in the lift looked at me thoughtfully. Where are you going? He said, eyeing up my heavy assortment of equipment. I'm going to emigrate to Brazil, I responded. He seemed skeptical of my choice. I'm on my way back to London. Why don't you come back with me to try a voice test for the BBC? If I had only taken this test that day, you could be a little Eduardo in Sao Paulo, he said, directing a smile at me. So with that seed of a plan, I got on a flight to Heathrow. The bus to central London drove on the wrong side of the road. This scared me, not after coming from Beirut. And it was cold. I'd arrived in a polo shirt and had a good choice for Beirut in February, but no one told me the UK was cold. I looked like one of you, English people in Beirut, bare-chested British tourists on the briskest of chilly evenings, scrambling for every ouvrier to impress their suburban neighbours upon their return home. You must not be one of those men, he said, grabbing my wrist. When I arrived at Bush House, the administrator handed me several small brown paper envelopes. This is for food, this is for accommodation, this is for warm clothes. I loved London in the swinging 60s, seeing the sights, and I even got into acting. I got into all sorts of things. Gliding, modelling. That looks like a really professional picture, I interjected. Yes, I was Mr. Hasbro. And what about Grandma? She's been suspiciously absent from this story so far, I asked. She was assistant catering manager of Bush House's canteen, open all day, all week, every week of the year. With the station broadcasting to 56 different nations across the planet, she had to cater to people working all times of the day. She was sometimes even sleeping there until her shift at odd times. And how did he get your attention? I asked her.
He chatted me up, she said. Lebanese are very good at that.
And with a wink, she left to do the washing up.
After you run,